Today, we're going to be talking about the top 5 foods that will kill your testosterone. We'll be talking about ways to test it, assess it, and other lifestyle strategies, but we're going to dive into that topic here today. And again, this can impact women as well as men. Obviously, men have about 10 to 20 times more testosterone than women. So it's going to be a deal breaker there. But we're going to dive into this topic. Before we do, please put your comments down below and love to see you guys give me a thumbs up for the search algorithm. All right, so let's dive in. So how much testosterone does a man make in a day? So typical man, healthy man's going to make about 6 to 10 milligrams of testosterone a day. Healthy females going to make about 0.25, maybe 0.5 milligrams a day. And people don't realize it, but when I talk about women's hormones, I say, hey, what hormone do you think a woman predominates the most, meaning makes the most? The typical thing is, estrogen or progesterone, but it's actually testosterone by 2 to 3x. So testosterone is one of the more predominant hormones that women make. Helps them deal with stress, helps them have a healthy libido, helps them put on muscle. So even though women have way less of it than us, the men, they still make a lot of it. And it's still a predominant hormone that they need to be on top of. So really, really important there. All right, so let me dive into the topic here. So first off, testosterone has been declining for the average male over the last century a large amount. I'm going to pull up an infographic on screen so you guys can see it. This is from NHANES database here, different studies using NHANES. And you could see it here. This is looking at testosterone in the 1960s. And it's talking about the average male was about 700. And then you can see the 80s. Now you're closer to 6. Here's the general trend line. And now you're about 400. Now you're about 80% reduction, or I should say about a 40% reduction from 700 to 400 there. So a big, big drop. Right, almost half. And so this is testosteronedecline.com. This is using NHANES database. And so that's a concern. We have this big drop. And so then now the question is, well, why is this drop happening? What are some of the environmental factors that are driving this? Right, we have to look at toxins. We have to look at what foods have gone up, what foods have decreased. These all play a massive role. What dietary changes have happened? Right. So obviously we know a whole bunch more processed foods occurred over the last 50. And then what happens if you went like 1920? 1910, I can imagine it'd only be even more crazy. So pretty nuts. Let me pull up another screen. So we'll talk about that. From a functional medicine side, we do a lot of lab testing. So I'll run free and total testosterone. We'll run SHGB, sex hormone binding globulin. We'll look at blood sugar and fasting insulin because that plays a major role in testosterone and upregulating the aromatase enzyme that converts testosterone to estrogen. And so this is a big deal because we have more processed food, anything more processed, more sugary, more processed fat. It's going to get that drive inflammation. It's going to get that aromatase enzyme upregulated and cause T to go to E, testosterone to estrogen. And women have similar issues because women can have PCOS.